This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. Next to me is Matt Allen, and we are your KTAR car guys, heard here every Saturday from 11 to noon on News Talk 92.3 KTAR. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we are helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. If you've got car questions, we've got car answers, so we encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR, and you can also get a hold of us via text at 411-923. Today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, we're doing an email of the week, a little bit of fact or fiction, taking your phone calls and your texts. And are you in the market for a new car? And the reason this is a hot topic for me today is I had a lady buy a car, and she did right as far as getting it checked out. She bought it from a dealership. It was a used car, Honda CR-V, I believe 2011 with 95,000 miles on it. So she did what we prescribed. She went to an independent mechanic and had him checked out. And they did a great job. I'm not even familiar with the shop, but I read the report on their invoice, and it was fantastic. You need this, and this. Well, she went back to the lot, and she said, well, here's the deficiencies with the car right now. And I thought it was a pretty clean car when I did end up seeing it. And what can we do about this? And they said, hey, we will take care of all that. And then will you buy the car? We'll make the deal happen. We'll take care of all that stuff. She buys the car and doesn't really, you've got 15 days, really. There's some sort of lemon law type stuff going on there.
Well, it's 15 days if there's a major
problem.
Like that.
But she didn't feel comfortable about it. Something told her to go have this stuff checked out. So I get the phone call at Tri-City Transmission. She says, I just need to verify this stuff was done. That's all I want to do. So we wrote it up and checked it out, and they had, taillight bulbs and windshield wiper blades, and there was a leak from the transmission, and the transmission needed service and all that. So I thought it was good that she had it checked up, because half of it they did, and half of it they didn't. They did the easy stuff,
right,
the windshield wiper blades.
So when they got the list, the used car, she goes, does the thing, that she gets the list, and I'm going to buy the car, but you've got to do, steps 1, 2, 3 here, and it's a great deal. And they say, quote, we're going to take care of it, right?
Take care of all of it, right?
It depends on what take care of it means, but go ahead.
They took care of all the cheap stuff, the blinkers and the light bulbs and the windshield wiper blades, and they dusted off a little bit of oil leak around the power steering pump, and they made it look good. And she rolled away with the car, but the expensive stuff they didn't touch.
So they were supposed to fix. There was a power steering hose that was leaking. Instead of repairing the leak, they cleaned it all up, pressure washed the area. Now
it's good to go.
Allegedly fixed.
There was also an axle seal leak on the transmission, and they were supposed to fix that. That would be, probably an expensive repair. Somewhat, could be $300, $500, something like that. And service the transmission. The transmission fluid still looked very old when I looked at it. So that is why the topic today. So are you buying a car? We talked a few weeks ago about what kind of cars are the best kind of cars, and we said it's whatever's best for you. But in this situation, how do you not buy a lemon if maybe you're looking for a used car? And we harp on it again and again, get a pre-purchase inspection. Matt, what are the things that come to your mind with buying a used car? You said life cycle was one of the things that should be a consideration, but what else?
Well, when we're looking at the used car, at least in my shop, I think people tend to believe, the car's only got 45,000 miles. Maybe I don't really need to have it looked over. And we're going to look at the car a little bit differently based on some of these things. But this is not something we can write the prescription for. This is just knowledge and it's experience. So don't think that you don't have to take that low mileage car. Remember, you've got a salesman selling. Those guys get training on how to sell. They are salesmen.
And a lot of them are good at what they do.
So they might allow you to let your guard down and say, oh, you're right, I don't need to have this car checked out.
It's like brand new. Why?
Well, why? Because brand new cars get wrecked and run through the auction and fixed.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong necessarily with a car that was wrecked as long as it was fixed properly. So I think that's one thing, that's how we're going to look at the car and why it doesn't really matter what used car you're buying. Now, we might look at the other thing to think about is people will say, well, I'm going to go buy a used car. Well, I promise you that nobody fixes everything before they go sell their used car. I don't know what the percentage would be, but I think it's fair to say that a large majority of used cars that are there for sale are the result of someone not wanting to make a repair that their shop has suggested, or they're at their 3-year life cycle, or maybe they're 5-year. They get a new car every 5 years. They get a new car every 3 years, no matter what. So then there's that other percentage, let's just say half the cars out there probably fall into that category. But that doesn't mean that they were maintained well.
Well, there's one thing that I quit doing work for, and that was for used car lots. I quit doing work for them, and I thought, we would check them out and diagnose them for them, but they never wanted to fix them. They never wanted to fix them right. Well, is there anything you can do to fix this cheaper? Blink, hint, hint, wink, wink. No, there's really not. Anything we can do. So we were checking them out, and we were charging them to check them out, so we got paid for the diagnosis. But when it came down to actually fixing the car, unless I had a bubblegum or shoestring transmission overhaul, they weren't interested. And we see it day in and day out. People come in and they say, hey, it's going to be this much money. Well, if the car actually still works, maybe they'll go trade that thing off.
There's a difference between fixing it and making it work, too.
Right.
And you're right. I've had used car dealerships, especially when I started my business. 20 years ago. I thought, look at this used car dealership. They want to use me.
Right. Look at all this work we can get.
They sell 50 cars a month and this and that and the other, but they never want to fix things right. Now, we need to be careful.
We can't broad brush it.
Yeah, there are good shops out there, good salespeople out there, good car lots selling good cars, but there's also good people walking the streets at 1 a.m. too, down wherever. But you have to be cautious of all of them, right?
You do. Well, and the point here is that you don't. It could be very legitimate auto dealerships selling a used car, but it doesn't mean that you don't still go to somebody else with a different set of eyes to look at the car. Mm-hmm. It's due diligence. So if you're going to buy anything, you got to do your due diligence, and that's to have somebody check it out. But you said, hey, this guy's really smooth. He makes you feel comfortable. You're going to let your guard down. But just because of that doesn't mean you don't take that step. Be willing to, and don't feel pressured. I always tell people when I'm feeling high pressure from a salesperson, I always say, I always feel like knee-jerk purchases are bad ones. And I just tell them that. So I'm not going to knee-jerk, and I'm not going to buy this today. That's a good rule of thumb. Go sleep on it. Think about it. You're going to have this car for a long time, and believe me, it's not the only one just like it out there on the road. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah, they'll do the takeaway.
That's a good one, yeah.
If you don't buy this, somebody else is going to come get it.
Right. Had a guy here yesterday just looking at that car, and boy, he was happy about it.
Yeah, well, then he should have bought it, I guess. The other thing... I don't know what the other thing was, Dave. But threw me off there.
Let your guard down and not take the car to get it checked out. I think that needs to happen. And this girl that brought me this car she did everything right.
Right. And the other thing is don't sign on a dotted line. They'll always tell you, if anything happens, we'll take care of it. But once that deal is done, that deal is kind of done. It's really hard to unwind, especially if you've traded something in and you've given power of attorney.
All kinds of promises are made.
Okay, so this is the car dealership. I think some of these same rules still apply with the used car. You're on Auto Trader, you're on Craigslist, you see something driving down the corner, it's parked on the corner empty bank lot or whatever the heck it is. You can find good cars there. Personally, I would want to buy a car from a private party. But there's all kinds of people telling, I've owned it. I've been duped before. I'm up here preaching, and man, I got the kablamo on a little travel trailer.
Right.
But if I was buying from a used car from a private individual, before we start talking anything, I'm going to see the title. And look at that title. You can see when the car was registered. You can see, how does the story match? Is it even in their name? When are the license plates? Look at the registration. Have these conversations. Get the one beauty about the used car from a private party is we can look at their service history. And then when you take that car in for the pre-purchase inspection that you must do, we can go through that record and also find out when this stuff was done. And just it gives you a better picture inside the car and how it was taken care of.
I never forget when I was 16 years old and shopping for my first car, and I ended up buying one off a lot. But going to the lot, and the salesman pulls around in this jacked up, lifted 2-door Ford Explorer, and it was a sweetheart back then. He said, "Yeah, a little old lady just traded this thing in yesterday," and I'm like, "Yeah, right, a little lady just." But these people sometimes will say anything. So we are taking your calls at 602-277-5827. 602-277 KTAR. Today we're talking about car purchases, new, used, whatever you're thinking, or anything for that matter. And you can also text us at 411-923. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys. We'll be right back.
It's really coming down now, and that little voice is saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. You meant to call Keiko Roofing last storm, but you didn't, did you? Now it's raining cats and dogs, and Mr. Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda is watching a puddle form on the ceiling. If the roof on your home or business is over 10 years old, get rid of shoulda, coulda, woulda. Call Keiko Roofing at 602-944-4600 for a free checkup today. At Keiko, we install peace of mind with the finest materials and the most skilled workers, all backed by the owner's pride guarantee. Flat, foam, tile, or shingle, Keiko handles them all. From a small leak to a complete new roof, Keiko has you covered. Since 1994, Keiko has repaired or replaced tens of thousands of valley roofs. Over 50% of our business coming from referrals or repeat customers. In fact, over 98% of our customers say they would refer us to a friend. For more information and financing options, go to KeikoRoofing.com. Keiko Roofing. We're crazy about quality.
The best golf staycation values are at Bunker to Bunker. Our next tournament is at the spectacular JW Marriott Camelback Inn Resort and Spa and the luxurious Ambiente course at Camelback Golf Club in Scottsdale. Our famous two-person scramble is Saturday, July 26th. It includes lunch, awards, a raffle, and even a free coupon for a second round of golf, all for just $79. And make it a staycation with our incredible $99 per night offer, good July 24th through the 28th. Go to bunkergolf.com for details. Space is limited, so register today.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
This is Bumper to Bumper, News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are here to help you with your car, a car you're considering buying, new, used, whatever it may be. We talked about buying cars or which cars are the best, and whatever is right for you, that's the best car. I guess that's the easy answer, isn't it? That works for any situation.
Well, and I've said this a lot of time. Get in the car, go test drive it, try and separate yourself from the salesman. If you've got a car seat, strap your car seat in, load the kids up. Just go take it for a drive, a rip around the block. You know, if you're down on Camelback, let's just use the area. Jumping on the 51 at Coulter and cruising down to Indian School and heading over to 16th Street and back up to the dealership, that's not a good enough test drive. You got to get out there for 30 minutes.
Yeah, take it to the lake. Throw your cooler in the back.
Yeah. And the other thing we didn't talk about, Dave, was the financing. So many people, that's one thing that's convenient. You go to the used car dealer because it's all one package. They take care of your title, your registration, the financing. It's one-stop shopping. But so many times you hear people trying to buy a car off payment. And I understand.
Yeah, the budget.
If you have a budget, it's $300 a month. But don't buy the car off the payment. I think you can go to your credit union. You can go to your bank. Insurance companies are doing car financing now. Talk to them. Go find out what your budget is to purchase a car. Is it $10,000, $12,000, $25,000? Who knows? Especially in the used car realm. And then I always tell people, if you're buying a $1,000 car, you better have another $1,000 to fix it.
If it's used.
If it's used. So have some budget in there. And so you don't get caught up in the salesman's techniques. What do you want your payment to be? I don't really care what my payment is.
Right.
We buy the car for the price of the car, not for what the payment is.
But it would be better if you could say, hey, I've already got the payment worked out with my bank. I've got $20,000 to spend.
Well, and they don't even know what you have to spend.
Yeah, I've already got all that worked out.
It's none of their business. We're talking about what this car is worth, and we're buying the car. And then you can get some extended warranties and such through your credit union. I think are a better deal than maybe you can get some places, and that's a whole nother discussion whether you even want to buy an extended warranty.
We've got Dave, Julie, and Tom on the line. We're going to go with Julie in
Where's the phone?
in Phoenix on, it looks like a 2014 Honda Accord V6 or maybe a Volkswagen Passat diesel. Are you considering which one of those you want to buy, Julie?
I am, and so I wanted to find out from you what your thoughts were. I've done the cost calculation on the savings with the diesel and the mileage. So I'm concerned about reliability. I know that the 2012 Passat, I think, had some issues.
Well, I think, Julie, you can go on the line and you can find some issues with an Accord if you want to. In the world of the Internet, you can find anything. But this is one of those cases where I think we find out what we're going to be using the car for. Are we commuting with the car? Are we going to keep it forever? And boy, I tell you, I like both of those cars. A Honda Accord, Dave, we were talking about Hondas and Toyotas today. They really hold their value nice.
Yes, they do.
But holy smokes, those TDI Volkswagens and Audis, 52 miles to the gallon or something like that. Diesel's coming. There's more and more of these small car diesels. Boy, I don't know. and people that buy the TDI, they hang on to them.
Yeah,
they keep them.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the gas mileage, and I like the idea of going after that technology. I think we're going to see more and more diesel as time comes on, and that TDI's been around how long now?
They're a while. They're great cars. We service a lot of Volkswagens and Audis at Virginia Auto Service, and I think the Volkswagen is going to take a higher degree of attention. Maybe there's less margin for error, and I don't want to scare you away from buying the car. I don't mean that that there's anything wrong with the car. I would buy one. I would like to have a TDI than hot rodded a little bit.
Yeah, there's
a little sleeper there that you can make incredible amounts of power with those diesels, but you can't go wrong with a Honda Accord either.
Right. On the Volkswagen, I think you're right. It's going to be a little more temperamental as far as servicing. I think that is a fair assessment. The thing I like about Honda is they put up with a lot of abuse.
You can neglect a Honda
exactly.
than a German car. The other thing, I bet you could go rent that Honda Accord somewhere. Maybe go rent one for 3 days. The TDI, you might have a hard time finding one of those to rent. I don't think those are any rental car fleets. But I wouldn't be shy about saying, I'm taking this car for an hour or two. I'm going
either that or if they forget to ask you for the driver's license, just take it for a couple days. So thanks for the call, Julie. We're going to go with Dave in Mesa. Looks like he's got a 2000 Toyota Corolla. Go ahead, Dave. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. I have a 2000 Toyota Corolla. I kind of took a hit. I bought it for about $2,200, but I had to put about $900 to $1,000 to fix it up. My question really is it has 143,000 miles, but a lot of problems with it. How much would I might be able to sell it for or trade it in for? How does that work? I've never done that before.
Okay, well, a couple things. I mean, how much? Who knows? People ask me, how much should I sell my car for? What's my car worth? And your car's worth whatever somebody willing to pay for it.
Well, there is tools out there, though. Well, I mean, one of the tools you can look at is Kelley Blue Book.
Slow your roll, Dave. I was going there.
Kelley Blue Book is a good tool. I use it on a regular basis when I'm talking to customers about, do I fix the car? Don't I fix the car? What is the value of the car? You can go there. You can see what it's worth in a trade-in, that type of thing. But now, when you get down in that range of car, we talked about the life cycle of cars. And
I thought $2,200 was pretty inexpensive for a 2000
very
Corolla.
Inexpensive,
so
yeah.
At first blush, I thought, well, you got a good deal on it because there probably was
a lot wrong with it.
A lot wrong with it. But then the other thing, or I think you were going, Davis, go to the Auto Trader and look at similar cars and see what they're selling for. Call some of those people. Hey, I'm just curious about the car. What's it condition? Oh, I sold it. Oh, really? What'd you sell it for? That's going to give you an idea.
Yeah, what are homes selling for in that neighborhood? Just see what they are. Just see what the market is, and then you can go from there on it. Now, the other thing that I would like to tell
well, Dave and I are both competing for microphone space here, but go for it.
Back down, Nitro. I bought a $2,000 car, and I guess I kind of got took because I had to put another $900 into it. That was his first comment. You buy a $2,000 car, chances are you're going to have to put some money into it. And we were talking a little bit before the show about where you buy a car in the life cycle. So if I buy a car that's got 45,000 miles on it and it wasn't in some sort of flood damage and no one rolled back the odometer, it's a pretty safe bet to, it's going to be in good shape. It's not going to need a lot, but you take a car that's now 14 years old, it's going to need some stuff.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is if you're just going to get rid of this car and go buy another used car, you need to think about that. Maybe it's time that maybe you go spend a little bit of money, you spend $100, invest into this car, and tell your shop, tell me everything. I want to know how horrible this car is. And I'm just saying, it may not be a horrible car, but I'm exaggerating the point. I've got to know everything about this car. And then you can make a decision about the repairs in that car, whether you really want to sell it or go buy a different one.
We've got Tom and Jim on the line and open lines at 602-277-5827, 602-277 KTAR. You can text us at 411-923.
Hi, this is Greg LaFonsi of Automotive Diagnostic Specialties. Yes, we realize this is a long name to remember, but most of our customers know us simply as ADS. ADS is a family-owned and operated, state-of-the-art, full-service automotive repair facility with an expert staff that has helped us earn the coveted AAA Top Shop Award as one of the best shops in the nation for the second straight year in a row. We are honored, humbled, and dedicated to providing the same level of service to you and your family. We will always strive to get it done right the first time so that you will leave with a smile on your face after every repair or service. ADS is a bumper-to-bumper radio approved shop with a long name but a short, simple goal. Customer satisfaction is our number one priority, and everything else takes care of itself. Just east of I-10 on Chandler Boulevard, ADS proudly serves Ahwatukee, Chandler, Tempe, Gilbert, and Southeast Phoenix. Stop by or check us out at automotivediagnosticspecialties.com today.
After 14 years in the States, mostly spent here in the Valley, I was getting bloody frustrated with the treatment I was receiving from dealerships on the maintenance and repairs of my vehicles. I finally reached out to a friend who told me I was crazy not to try Virginia Auto Service. Being a mom with a busy schedule, children, and work, I took my friend's advice and gave Virginia a try. What a refreshing difference. From the first step through their doors, their staff was accommodating and understanding. Robert explained in plain English what I needed to have done, but also why. They went out of their way to make sure that the experience was convenient, with door-to-door shuttle service by a lovely man named Bergie. Several years and a number of visits later, the experience is always the same. They tell me what is necessary right now and what is not. This is Victoria, and I don't know much about cars, but I do know that from boot to bonnet, Virginia Auto Service knows how to take care of their customers. Check them out online at virginiaautoservice.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's LisaReneeHenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
This is Bumper to Bumper, News Talk 92.3, KTAR.
All righty, I'm Matt Allen, and he is Dave Riccio, and we are here every single Saturday at 11 with Bumper to Bumper Radio, helping you with your car. And today we've been talking about buying used cars. Maybe you're out at the dealership, maybe you're surfing Craigslist, what to look for, what to do, how to maybe handle that. And so if you have a question about buying a used car, give us a call. We have open line 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. If you're like the texting variety, it is 411-923. And Dave, I mean, there's we talked a little bit about financing, getting prepared before you go shopping, so you're not buying on payments, having the cars checked out at your mechanic before you go make that purchase.
I just got a text from a little old lady. She drives a 6-inch lifted GMC Yukon.
Is that right?
I guess so. Maybe I was wrong, but I didn't see Grandma driving that car.
But she might drive it, but the likelihood that it just got traded in and this is for you. There's a great movie. Dave and I were trying to use some audio clips from this movie, but it's hard to find some that we don't have to put the bleeps in. If you want to watch a good classic 1982 Arizona movie, you've got to go get used cars.
Way too much.
Yeah, much wasn't really what it said, but anyway, it's a classic, funny movie, and it exposes all the salesman tricks, right, Dave?
Some fast talkers. Well, we've got Jim, Jesse, Steve, and Tom. We're going to go with Tom in Scottsdale. It looks like he's got a Corvette, 1996 Corvette LT1. What can we help you with, Tom?
Hey, fellas, thank you. I have two questions. Basically, how often should we change our automatic transmission fluid? And secondarily, should we always request that we drop the pan and we have the filters cleaned? Because I take really good care of all my cars. And my Corvette's got over 100,000 miles, and that thing's just peppered. I mean, that thing will... I can burn rubber from one end of the street to the other. But I just want to make sure that we know about those automatic transmission fluids, and how to do it.
Absolutely, and that is probably the most common question I get on the phone every day at the transmission shop, and even on the show and on emails. When, how much, and how often do we service automatic transmissions? And there's different decades of cars and what the rules are. But a 1996 Corvette, I'm going to say every 30,000 miles is sufficient. And I would drop the pan and I would change the filter. Now, some people drop the pan and change the filter every other. So in between, they'll do a flush or a complete fluid exchange or transfusion. And people say, oh, I heard it's bad to flush your transmission. The only problem with that term flush is it means 10 different things to 10 different marketing people. And they all have their idea. One guy's flush is, hey, pour in a bottle of this trans flush, go drive around the block, and then drain it out. That's his flush. Another guy's flush is getting out the old power washer and forcing fluid through the transmission. That's his idea. And then you at your shop, Matt, you guys do a transfusion, so the machine just exchanges the fluid?
Call it what you want. There's no flushing happening anywhere. I mean, when you do that proverbial flush, if you're exchanging the transmission fluid, we're not simply, but to break it down, we're hooking up a machine that's got a bladder in it, and on one side of the bladder is full of clean fluid, and on the other side of the bladder is space to put dirty fluid. So we hook up two hoses, the out and the in of the transmission cooler. So all we're doing is using the pressure of the transmission pump to push the dirty fluid. Instead of going out to the cooler and cooling off, it's pushing on the bladder, and on the other side of the bladder is clean fluid. So when you push on it hard enough, you push clean fluid in, and all the old fluid now takes the place of the bladder. Nothing is flushed.
Non-evasive way to change out all the fluid in the transmission. Does that clean the filter? Because I know people used to say, oh, yeah, it cleans the filter because we're back flushing it somehow.
No, that's baloney. There's no back flushing going on. And I think all this stuff was created probably from the quick oil change industry, because you can only do with an oil change, I mean, wipers, air filter, They didn't have cabin air filters.
There's not much you can
years ago.
not much you can sell.
There's not much to service or sell, and because the people that are employed typically, with a broad stroke, at a loop shop don't have the highest skill set. There are no master techs there, so they have to do something easy for the consumer, but also easy for the employee, so they can suck out the. What about the one I was at a trade show day, and you can suck the transmission fluid out of the bottom of the pan? Anybody can do that. I mean, that's not.
Well, I know at a nearby car wash to my shop, they literally just stick a straw down the dipstick and they suck it out. And I don't know what they're doing with the cars that don't have a dipstick. So that's that, you know, and all that's changed. And there's not a one size fits all for all these cars that are on the road. So people call and I say, "What's the car?" And then I give them the answer for that car.
And that's where the myth of the sealed transmission fluid comes from. You know what they say at the oil change shop? What they can't do the car with a dipstick? It's a sealed unit. Doesn't have a dipstick. You can't do that. Well, no, you can do it. They can't do it.
They can't do it, correct. So it's not sealed, and people call, like Ford Explorers, no dipstick. They always say, well, it's a sealed transmission. No, it's not. It is not a sealed transmission. It needs to be serviced. So thanks for the call, Tom. And if you do have a car, you're not sure about the service on it, they're all different, and we have different recommendations for different cars, but you can send us an email at bumpertobumperradio.com. So let's go with, you had somebody in mind there, Jim in Gilbert on a 98 Toyota Corolla. Go ahead, Jim. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. Good morning. Hey, I just bought this Corolla, and I've been lamenting it ever since. But I bought it a couple weeks ago, and the guy that sold it to me lied about everything but his first name, I think.
Right.
So I was really interested to hear the topic of your show. I'm going to hear it all. I'm going to keep listening even after I get home. I'm going to keep listening, I guess, on my phone or something because I want to hear everything else you have to say.
Just drive slow.
I learned a lot of things that I should have done that I didn't do when I bought this car. And one of the things you mentioned already was, make sure the name on the title is the guy who's selling you the car. I've since found out there are a lot of people flipping cars. They'll buy a car from someone and then turn around and sell it without ever taking the title into their name.
Right.
And trying to just make some quick money. And so this guy lied about, he said the guy's name on the title was his dad, and he even signed a little agreement that said that he would reimburse us for any repairs to the front end because it didn't drive very well. I didn't take it for a very, very far drive just around the parking lot. And I'm like, this car seems to have a front end problem. He goes, yeah, it's just the alignment. We just never had it aligned. But we just had the tie rods done and the struts done. And so after I bought the car, we took it to the shop with my little signed agreement saying that, he would either take the car back or he would, reimburse us for the repairs. But, the tie rods are original and bent and the struts are, they're all bad. So there's $1,000 of repairs on the car. But I really failed in purchasing this car to get the proper identity of the guy selling it to me.
Well,
and in a cash transaction, what recourse do you have, right?
Well, yeah, and there's really nothing. And unfortunately, I think, it's. I'm happy that some other listeners might be able to learn from your experience. People are out there shopping, and I guarantee you there's people that aren't listening that are going through this right now, and there's some of you that are listening that are going to go through this later today, possibly, or sometime. It's one of those. I guess it's we all pay for education, whether it's at the college level or I've got some very valuable education, and it didn't come out of school. It came at the expense of my pocketbook. But I think at this point now, that signed agreement's probably kind of like not even as good as toilet paper. It might be. It probably would hurt to use it for that. So, unfortunately, there's probably no recourse but doing it over now. But maybe it's not too late. You might be able to recover the car. Go find your shop if you have that shop. If you don't have that shop, you can find one at bumpertobumperradio.com and tell them I need an evaluation of this car. Explain what happened and find out, and then you've got to go revisit. Is it worth fixing? Or do I take my lumps and just drive it?
Get an idea what it's going to cost because, okay, the car's, let's just say it's $4,000, and this shop's telling me it needs $1,000 worth of work. So either that will help me negotiate, or I still buy it anyway, knowing, hey, I'm just going to have to put $1,000 in it because it's still, the math makes sense for me, and I'm comfortable with that. But you got to know what you're getting into. And I never really think about the name on the title and all that, but the car flipping, it got big there for a while when everybody was out of work, when the economy was not so good. Pick a car up on Craigslist, put a nice detail on it, and resell it. And they're not fixing these things right.
Yeah, I would make a horrible used car guy.
Because you want to fix everything.
I mean, occasionally we end up buying a car from a customer. They didn't want to fix it. Maybe the engine was blown up, and so I'm fixing this car in the shop, and we have to do a head gasket maybe. And I'm when I learned to fix cars, I wasn't fixing cars because it wasn't like there was unlimited funds. I don't know how to say this right. I wasn't worried about what it cost. My goal was to fix the car. The cost wasn't really the issue. I learned how to fix the car right. It's hard to disconnect from doing that. You can't. I've been trained, and we do it right. I'd make a horrible used car salesman.
602-277-5827. Thanks for the call, Jim. We're going to go with Jesse in Apache Junction. Looks like he's looking at an F-150 with EcoBoost that he might buy. What is your question, Jesse?
Well, yeah, guys. I had my GMC destroyed in a bad accident, so I'm looking to go to the dark side with Ford, and I really like that F-150 with the EcoBoost. I like the look of it. But I heard they had some problems with that early on. I just wonder if they got those fixed, or if it's a safe bet. I should go with an extended warranty if I get one because of the problems. What do you guys think?
Well, I think this is 2001, but I think you're probably saying 2011. There was an EcoBoost in 2001, so if someone's trying to
That's
sell
what I meant, yeah, 11.
Okay.
That's what I meant, yeah.
That's the first clue if they're trying to tell you it's EcoBoost on 2001.
No,
yeah.
The truck that got destroyed was a 2001,
Right.
so that's probably where I got that from.
Well, hightail it out of there. But, Dave and I did that EcoBoost driving challenge, and the amount of power and what they're able to get out of those engines. They're using direct injection,
variable valve timing.
They've got maybe twin turbos, I think, in some cases. Marshall Service Center, he's got one of those and tows, drives all over the state, all over the country with it.
He puts miles on it quick, and at this point, I don't think I've heard a complaint out of him.
No.
So, and everyone. I haven't heard anything negative about the EcoBoost per se. There may be some glitches because it's a little bit of a newer technology or something, but it's all stuff that's easily addressed. Sometimes with software updates, that type of thing.
Well, and just like I think it was Julie looking at the Accord and the TDI. I don't care what car. Pick a car at the stoplight, random car, and go type in whatever it is, problems on Google. You can find whatever you want to find if you want to. You'll find people that love it. You'll find people that hate it. The key, I think, on any of them is taking care of the maintenance.
It's time for Fact or Fiction.
All right, I'm making one up on the fly. The fact or fiction for today is you're buying a used car, and the car is outside of factory warranty.
Putting the qualifiers
on it. Yeah, putting some qualifiers on it. Outside of factory warranty, buying a used car, am I covered by lemon law? Do I have any coverage by lemon law buying a used car outside of factory warranty?
It's unfortunately we're calling this fact or fiction because I don't know if I'm going to state fact. Yeah. I really don't think there's any lemon law warranty. You qualified it without a factory warranty. So we might have to clarify with a used car, just any old random used car.
You go buy a car off the street from let's just say you buy it from a car lot, a certified car lot that's actually listed as a dealership. They're not faking to be a car lot and just selling cars, what they call curb stoning. But you go there, you buy the car, and 2 days later the transmission goes bad, and it's going to cost you like $3,500 to fix it, and you paid $5,000 for the whole car. Do you have any recourse? Is that a fact?
In that case, I think, yes, the fact you do, but it's not. I don't think it's called lemon law. And we'd have to look at the statute, but it's 15 days, 500 miles. I know because you.
I just had a customer that went through it, and she went back to the lot who sold it to her, and they didn't sell it through the lot. They actually just did what the title skipping, I think they call it. So
shysters. So that's the other thing. But
anyway, when we come back, we'll talk a little more detail on that. We're going to go with Todd and James. You're listening to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
It's really coming down now, and that little voice is saying shoulda, coulda, woulda. You meant to call Kaiko Roofing last storm, but you didn't, did you? Now it's raining cats and dogs, and Mr. Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda is watching a puddle form on the ceiling. If the roof on your home or business is over 10 years old, get rid of shoulda, coulda, woulda. Call Kaiko Roofing at 602-944-4600 for a free checkup today. At Kaiko, we install peace of mind with the finest materials and the most skilled workers, all backed by the owner's pride guarantee. Flat, foam, tile, or shingle, Kaiko handles them all. From a small leak to a complete new roof, Kaiko has you covered. Since 1994, Kaiko has repaired or replaced tens of thousands of valley roofs. Over 50% of our business coming from referrals or repeat customers. In fact, over 98% of our customers say they would refer us to a friend. For more information and financing options, go to KaikoRoofing.com. Kaiko Roofing. We're crazy about quality.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE MasterTechs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
My pappy said, son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
Bumper to Bumper on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio. He is Matt Allen, and we are talking used cars, new cars that you may be thinking about buying. If it's used, remember, check the title, see the title, and have it checked out. And the people that promise you, oh, yeah, we'll fix that if that becomes an issue, or all that kind of stuff, you got to get that stuff fixed before the deal. Got to get it fixed and verified. So that's important. We've got Todd and James, but to finish up on our factor of fiction. So this gal buys this car from this car lot, and the transmission goes out right away, and it's at my shop, and she's like, I just bought the car. Well, I find out, because I didn't know this, but I started doing a little research, and for 500 miles and 15 days, if you buy it from a car lot, not necessarily a private party, if it has a major component fail within that time, they have to be willing to take the car back, or and refund you your money, or fix it, something like that.
Yeah, and it would be something like that. Would be like a major transmission failure, a head gasket, or engine catastrophic failure. Maybe a differential. I think there's some words about safe use of the car. There's some language in there that's kind of weird. But then, back to the factor of fiction, the lemon law. There are lemon laws on brand new cars. You could still buy a used car within the factory warranty and still have recourse under a lemon law if there were lemon law issues, facts surrounding that that supported it.
A lot of times multiple attempts to fix the same problem that they can't fix.
Well,
yeah, 3 attempts or something like that.
Yeah, I was a technical advisor for Ford in their lemon law arbitration. Used to was an arbiter for them. We'd sit on a panel with 4 other people where we had a consumer advocate. I was the technical expert. We had a dealership advocate. We had a manufacturer's representative. I think it was 5 people, and we'd hash these things out. But it's not like I'm going to go down and return this under the lemon law, And I think the mistake people have made that we saw in the past, they quit making the payments. That's a different deal.
Right.
The deal that you make for the payments, that's financing through the bank. That's got nothing to do with going and parking the car at the dealership and handing them the keys. that you're still obligated to pay for the loan that you took out with the bank. So be cautious before you.
Well, and the other point on this car that I went through was this gal went to a car lot, and it was a registered car lot with the state. However, what the owner of the car lot did, he never took the title. He just left it what we call open. Had her write him she wrote a check, which was good. He wanted cash, which that's a red flag when you're dealing with a car lot when the guy wants cash. Probably not a good deal. But she said, no, I really want a receipt of the transaction, so she talked him into taking a check that she wrote out to him personally. So if you're buying it from a car lot and the guy wants the check personally, still bad deal. So those are all things to be aware of. And he kept the title open. He didn't run it through so he skipped the whole tax system was skipped. There was a lot of things that aren't good for our local community there. You gotta pay tax. It's just everybody's civic duty.
Well, and you start thinking about some of these shysters out there. Check their Better Business Bureau. Check. I don't know where else there's to check with for used car lot. I think the Better Business Bureau would be the first place. See if they're even this guy. I think that you're talking about, Dave. He wasn't even registered.
No,
as a car lot or.
I went down and talked to him, and I tried to appeal to his good nature to get him to take this car back, and he wouldn't. But he wasn't listening to the BBB. I called the BBB. I said, what's the deal? They said, well, we haven't seen any activity, so therefore we don't list him. So anyway, she did file a complaint, and I believe he is now listed on there.
Well, and tune into what people tell you. Oh, you know what? If we run this off the side, we can bypass the law, which is sales tax, and I can save you the sales tax, okay? So what he's committing is fraud. And if he's willing to defraud the state or defraud this or cheat this, what the heck makes you think he's not willing to just cheat you? I had a customer ask me, well, can't you just tell the insurance company this and then they'll pay for it? I said, well, number one, no. That's insurance fraud, and I'm not doing it. And even if it wasn't insurance fraud, I'm not doing it. And then how do I look to you, my customer, if I'm willing to cheat somebody else?
Yes.
You stand there. Do I honestly think that you can do business with me? No, we're not doing it.
Right.
It's all above board around here. There's no,
There's white hats and black hats in town, and I'm amazed when people ask me stuff like that. Well, can't you just throw an extra part in there to make the deductible go away? No, I can't, No. Ultimately, everybody pays for it. We're going to go with Todd in Scottsdale. Hey, Todd, what can we help you with today?
Hi, I bought a 2014 Camry, and I'm looking at the maintenance intervals, and they're suggesting, even though because it's a synthetic oil, to not change oil until 10,000 miles. What do you think of that?
Todd, I'll take that one. This is Matt. I have a 2010 Tundra, and I tried doing that 10,000 mile thing. I got really good oil. You've got to make sure you've got good oil if you want to do it. Got to have a great synthetic oil. I would still change it every 5,000 miles. Now, you're talking to a guy who goes to an auto repair shop every day. I have every tool at my disposal to fix my truck, anything I want to do to maintain it. I go 10,000 miles in between the oil change. The oil is nasty, dirty. I mean, I drive my car hard, but I needed a brake job in between oil changes, and I ended up grabbing a rotor because we didn't check it. The windshield washer fluid is always seems to be empty. We run these intervals too far, and the car ends up not being taken care of. Now, maybe in the first 3 oil changes, you go 10,000 miles, get it up to 30, maybe go 40, and then start backing it down to 5,000. Man, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it at all. We see these BMWs that do those extended oil changes and Mercedes, and you get that car in the 75,000, 80,000 mile range, and now it's falling apart between oil changes. I would just stick with 5,000. Just do it every 5,000. Stick to that 5, 10, 15, 20. Do the service intervals. Find yourself a good independent repair shop. You do not have to go back to the dealer on brand new cars. Maintain your relationship and let us take care of your car for you.
And you can find a good shop at bumpertobumperradio.com. By the way, when you're there, like us on Facebook. Thanks for the call, Tom. We're going to take you, James, off the air. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Bree, for running the dials. Remember, never to text and drive. From all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, we hope you have a great weekend.
Want to make your summer really cool this year? It's easy with the Bunker to Bunker Summer Stay and Play Series, the best golf staycation values in Arizona. Our next tour stop in July is once again an incredible value at the spectacular JW Marriott Camelback Inn Resort and Spa and the luxurious all-new Ambiente course at Camelback Golf Club in Scottsdale. Be our guest for the ultimate in-town luxury golf staycation getaway at an incredible value. The popular Bunker to Bunker two-person scramble tournament is on Saturday, July 26th. And it's just $79, which includes lunch, awards, prizes, and a big raffle. You even receive a free bounce-back coupon for a second round of golf. Better yet, bring the better half or the whole family and spend the entire weekend with the special Bunkerville Stay and Play rates for just $99 per night at the legendary Camelback Inn. Offer good Thursday, July 24th through Monday the 28th when you play in our tournament. For your $99 special code and tourney registration details, go to bunkergolf.com. Space is limited, so register today.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave.
We're the car guys from the Bumper to Bumper radio show, heard right here on News Talk 92.3 KTAR every Saturday from 11 to noon.
Bumper to Bumper radio, it's just like your favorite warm and comfy blanket for all your automotive needs.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Dave. And we're here not just on Saturdays, but 24/7 at bumpertobumperradio.com for all the very best repair and service shops in Phoenix.
Yep, right advice, products, and partners are all at bumpertobumperradio.com.